System reactivated.
There's no pulling out. Keep fighting. There are no more rogue reinforcements.
An agent needs assistance.
You're halfway through the fight.
Rogue striker drone detected. Rogue stinger hive detected. Allies are acquiring the boost. The boost has been taken by allies. Rogue striker drone. An agent needs assistance. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Agent down. Mine detected. Agent down. An agent needs assistance. System malfunctioning. System back online.
Got it together.
Vital signs critical.
The fight is halfway done.
An agent needs assistance.
There are no more rogue reinforcements.
Agent down.
You're out of reinforcements. Hang in there.
Taking fire! Go for the flank!
Rogue assault turret detected. Contaminated gear detected. System disrupted.
Son of a bitch!
System reactivated. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. detecting contaminated gear. Immediate medical assistance needed.
What's happening? Ah!
He's down. He's down. He's gonna be finished on that roof. Yeah, I got him.
Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna be decoy.
Yeah, I can see him. He's there. He's there. Aiming at me as well.
Extraction heat.
We've got a guy behind us. Watch out, he might flag. He might flag on us. I don't trust you. Crap, watch out. He's dead.
Agent down. Helo is headed back.
I got one.
Rogue agent.
Got one.
Rogue agent eliminated.
Got two. What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be a straightforward PvP build. Now, this is going to be nothing fancy. It's going to be down to the wire, best in slot. What is the best SMG build I have used in PvP, and that is what I'm going to showcase to you guys today. Now, if you want to see a lot of gameplay, hours of gameplay with this build, my last 2 Twitch streams, I utilized this build a lot, most of the time. So links will be in the description to those actual videos. If you guys want to go through, just browse through it. I'm sure I added some of them into the clips in the beginning of the video. If not, you can go and have a look at all of the detail of the build there. You can see how much survivability we have. We have a huge amount of armor regeneration, about 68,000. I think I can almost get it to 6970k with just under 160% crit damage. This build is going to be perfect for PvP. If you are looking for an SMG build where you can dominate the game, this is the one for you. So let's go through the specialization first. It's going to be quite a simple video, guys. Like I said, nothing fancy, straightforward talents that we all know and love that are very, very good. So it's just going to be utilizing the strongest things in the game. So Firewall is going to be a must for 2 reasons, really. The shield and the armor kit, which is just too good to pass up. If you proc this armor kit, it's unbelievably powerful, and it gives you a lot of health and armor over time, which allows you to survive fights, survive getting put on fire or put on bleed. The armor regen as well actually counteracts a tier 6 Stinger Hive's bleed. That's how good our regen is on this build. And if you proc an armor kit, you won't have any problems. So make sure everything is activated. SMGs are going to be the main part of this build, and assault rifles. So you can also use whatever weapon you want with the SMGs. It's completely up to you. But if you don't use SMGs, your crit chance is going to be quite low. And then you're going to have to obviously reroll more stuff, and you will have less critical hit damage. So this shield right here, we have got modifications for it. So make sure everything here is unlocked, which increases the health of the shield and the active regeneration. Which is important. So holstered regen is when the shield regens when you don't have it out. When it's out, that's active regeneration. The more health goes up, the more active regen you have, the more actively the health goes up while it's deployed and being used. But it's difficult to get active regen up. So everything's activated. Now you can use other specializations if you would like to, but I definitely recommend Firewall for the reasons that I mentioned prior. So let's look at the build. So this is something I wanted to try a bit new, is the armor amount. I thought to myself, well, I might struggle a bit, not dishing out damage. Oh no. This one clips any build in the game easily. You will definitely see the difference if you increase it from 1.5 to 1.7. You survive a lot more, considering we don't have Unbreakable. Now, it's important to take note. As you saw from the Twitch footage, or you saw from the gameplay earlier, this build you need to strafe. Now, if you're on console or PC, this is perfect. I think on console, this will be even stronger. I know a lot of people are utilizing this build. That's why I wanted to showcase my variation of it, because a lot of people have been asking me to put this out. And I do, honestly, guys, it's nothing fancy, like I said before, but I wanted to put this out there so you guys have the best idea of what to run. So we're going to go through it step by step. I've got one more piece to optimize, and it's fully god rolled every single piece. So I'm quite happy about that. Obviously, my modifications aren't perfect, but I just need to get one more crit damage mod. So when you come up into a fight, especially on PC, and someone's using Yield Faithful, Concussion, Unbreakable build, you will lose the fight. If you try and face tank someone who has that build and they can hit their shots, you will lose, even if you hit headshots, because Unbreakable is really strong in PvP due to the differences in damage that we receive, which they just recently updated, by the way, I think a couple of weeks ago. So that's been changed. So the main thing that I wanted to say about that is you need to strafe. So when you fire a few rounds, reload, strafe a bit, then fire another few rounds. If you do that, 9 times out of 10, you will win every single fight you have, unless the player hits every single shot. So this build, you need to have a certain playstyle. You cannot just run up and face trade somebody else, because Unbreakable AR builds could win, especially on PC. But if you're on console, this is going to be perfect. You don't have to hit headshots at all. It's all body shots. Headshots are obviously beneficial, but it doesn't matter. So we're going to go through each individual piece. So like I said, try 1.7. You can even go for more armor if you guys would like to. The problem being is that you cannot roll the blue on the Coyote mask, which is probably the best in slot in this build. So Lady Death. Now there are other weapons you could utilize with this, but this is just going to be the best that we can use. So we get stacks of amplified damage, which is multiplicative, and we get movement speed, which is really good, especially for strafing. So make sure you guys have this. We also get additional damage to armor, which is great, considering that we want to spec more into armor regeneration so we can survive those fights in the Dark Zone. So I've tried this build in Conflict, in Dark Zone, and I've showcased this build live already, and I'm sure you guys understand. If you have seen the live streams, comment down below and let me know what you think. I definitely think this is probably the best SMG build currently in TU12 for PvP. So this comes natively with modifications. Now it's important to take note that if you get up close to somebody and you pull out the firewall shield, damage to armor as well increases melee damage. So you can actually, if someone has got half of their health, you can actually one-tap them if you use the shield and melee because of this Kiss of Death. Very important to take note, especially if you're up close to somebody and you want to finish them quick without having to reload. So take note of that, guys. Try and see the damage. You can hit up to 1 million damage per melee. So definitely give that a try. It's very powerful. Obviously, if you saw my bonk build, utilize that quite well. We also have 10% reload speed, crit chance, which is nice, and crit damage. I wish this was a bit more because 5% is a bit low. So, secondary weapon. I use the FAMAS with InSync. Very good damage from range. I really recommend this. You can use the FAL if you would like to. Just modify with crit chance mods and the 20 round magazine, because it's quite important to get this mag. If you guys don't have it in PvP, it's a must have, plus 20 rounds. Reload speed goes down, but that doesn't really matter. InSync, that's going to be 30% weapon damage, which is quite nice. You can use Optimist as well. That's pretty good, to be honest, from range. It's completely up to you, or even Ranger. It's up to you guys. So the pistol we have is the card custom InSync. That's completely up to you. Use whatever pistol you would like. So this is quite important. So Coyote Mask within 25 meters gives us a lot of damage. So, sorry, 15 meters. So if you look at the build as a whole, Adrenaline Rush and Intimidate. Now, what I'm going to do for you guys is push Z. You see it's highlighted blue. That means we're going to be seeing the PvP stats. So without the PvP stats, Adrenaline Rush is 20% bonus armor. With the PvP stats on, it should go down. So it's 10%. So that's going to be only 30% bonus armor as opposed to what it was previously. So it's important to take note that PvP stats are normalized, and this is how you take note of that. So this is going to be within 10 meters of an enemy. So ideally we want to be right up close and personal with the enemy agents. With Intimidate, we do get a bit of leeway. So, sorry, it's the same, 10 meters. There we go, perfect. But I've got perfect Intimidate, so that gives me 40% amplified damage. If you don't have this chest piece, you don't have to have it. I'll tell you how to get it in a second. You can just use the normal one. It's completely fine. But you do miss out on quite a bit of damage. So 5% amplified damage is a lot that you're losing, but it doesn't really matter if you use what you have, right? So because we have to be within 10 meters, the Coyote Mask, it's 15 meters, so I guess we're going to be getting more crit even if we are slightly out of the range of Intimidate and Adrenaline Rush. But this is going to give us 25% crit damage. Best in slot. That's the nice thing as well, as your AR doesn't have maxed out crit chance. You do get extra crit chance, 25% crit chance when you're 25 meters plus. So that's going to benefit us a lot. That's why using the FAL could even be better, because you could hit your shots. The accuracy is a bit better from longer ranges, even though the burst damage of the FAMAS is better currently in PvP. So we have got armor regeneration and crit damage. Those are the two elements that we want to mainly focus on. So let's go through the statistics quickly, just to give you an idea. So we will be just under 160% crit damage when we are within 50 meters of an enemy because of the Coyote's Mask. This is very interesting because the damage from the PvP of the weapon is very It's very wrong. Do not pay attention to this, because you will be hitting way higher than you will believe with this build. As you saw from the gameplay, it's big damage. 58% crit chances. It's important to take note that it is not per magazine, it is crit chance per bullet. So it's quite important to get this as near 60 as you possibly can without over-speccing it, because that's obviously a waste. So I want to ideally get to 59.5, but anywhere above 56% is generally the sweet spot in PvP. It doesn't really matter. Between 50 and 60, it depends on what kind of player you are, and it's RNG. So hopefully your bullets crit, because sometimes, even with 60% crit chance, hardly any of your bullets crit, which is quite annoying. I wish there was a gear set that gave us 100% crit chance. So let's look at the build now. So we've got the Chaos Mask, like we mentioned before. Every single modification I've put on this build is critical hit damage. I got two 12% and one 11.8. So I need to get the one more 12. It's annoying. So this comes with weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, as you guys know how it works. It also helps your teammates also, which is very, very nice. So the chest piece is going to be the Hunter Killer with perfect Intimidate. Normal Intimidate, if I'm not mistaken, gives you 35% amplified damage. This is 40. So how do you get this? You go to New York and you complete all of the Hunter masks. There are videos on YouTube on how to do this. I recommend doing it because there's a good one at Cassie Mendoza right now. This one is perfect for me. Armor regen and crit damage. It's god rolled now. I've optimized the crit damage, which is very, very nice. I actually bought this a couple weeks back. So you guys are missing out on some good ones. So make sure you try and get this ready from the hunters. So we have got status effect, which doesn't help us too much, but we need that 2-piece for the 1% armor regeneration. Remember, when we have armor regen, that's an incremental value, right? So the more armor you have with your armor regen, the percentages amplify it. So it's much better to have higher armor. So like 1.7 million armor, the percentage base goes off of that, so it'll be way higher. So it's very important to have that. Also, having armor regen and crit damage on every piece, sometimes crit chance is primarily what we want to focus on. So once you have that, then you're good to go. Then the 1-piece Socle of Concern. Now, this is very, very good. You're probably wondering why I'm not using the 2-piece for the extra crit damage. Trust me, guys, the armor regen is a bit better. If you really want to go for all-out damage, this is not the build for you. And, you know, survivability is just as important as damage in this game. And you're gonna thank me later if you give this a try rather than just going all-out damage. So we've got crit chance, armor regen. This is my next piece to optimize with armor value there called Tribute. So SMG damage will be good for us. Then on the backpack, this is going to be Adrenaline Rush as a talent. Obviously, as you guys know, it gives us bonus armor, which procs Intimidate. Armor regen, armor, and crit chance with a crit damage modification. This is the 2-piece for that beautiful 1% armor regen. Then the gloves, Belston Armory. So crit damage, armor regen, armor. This gives us 1% armor, same as the 2-piece golden, which is stacking, which is very, very nice. That's going to be 3% armor regen from the knee pads, because now we have got the Emperor's Guard, which gives us another 1% armor regen, crit damage, armor. The skill duration is not ideal, but hey, we can't pass up this beautiful armor regeneration. So as you guys can see, you know, there are other ways you can run this build. Like I say, my builds are templates for you guys to work upon, but this is definitely the way that I recommend you doing it, especially if you're a new player or you want to survive as much as you possibly can. Because in PvP, if you get put on fire once, you're just going to die if you don't have armor regeneration, because hazard protection, in my opinion, isn't very strong right now. In PvP, a lot of guys are rather going for armor regeneration. It depends what kind of build you want. If you have a big shield build, you know, then hazard protection would be more beneficial due to yourself being tanky from the shield. So let's look at the skills now quickly, then we'll go through the statistics. So we've got Pulse. Now I use the Jammer Pulse. You can use the EMP Sticky if you want for that stagger effect. That could be really good. It's difficult to use, but make sure when you guys use this, you mod it with your best modifications. It's completely up to you, whatever modifications you have. This is where it's important. So when you pull out the shield, you will see a beam of light in front of you and behind you. It'll give your teammates damage if they are standing behind you and give you extra damage when they're in front of you. So the PvP damage taken modifier is 5%. That means that our shield will take a lot more damage. Active regen 60. Health is 4 million. So when you're modding this, guys, very important. So we have got damage bonus per enemy. Don't go for holstered regen. 5% damage bonus is nice. I think the max is 6 if I'm not mistaken. Then shield health. So we can go for active regen if you would like, but that's more for longer fights and better in PvE. And then over here, we've got the shield health. I've got the 8%, which I'm going to put on now. I don't know why I have that off. Just make sure you always check your skill mods, because they sometimes change for no apparent reason. So once you've done that, then let's look over the statistics. So we have got 58 crit chance, 133, which equates to just under 160% crit damage, 70% headshot damage, 6% armor damage. I see a lot of people running Walker Harris 2-piece. It's not very beneficial. You only get 5% weapon damage and 5% armor, damaged armor, which in my opinion is not very good. Don't spec into that these days, especially in PvP. It's not as good as, like, for example, one Grupo, a Cheska to get your crit chance up. So we have got, but obviously that depends on, you know, your RNG in the game. Like I said before, I've made videos where it's a bit complicated the way this game works with regards to crit damage and headshot damage and all of that. It's very situational, so it really is up to you. In PvE, armor damage is really good. Obviously best in slot like Contractor's Gloves, and the Lady Death comes with baseline armor damage. But sometimes if you crit a lot, which we generally do with high RPM weapons, it's more beneficial to go for crit damage because you will hit way harder. And you know what, I guess it just depends on you. You know, if you want to melt people, especially with shotgun builds with high damaged armor is probably the better way of speccing into it. So we have got this. You see, this is very misleading. Never go off of this page. Now you can pause the video and have a look, because our damage will be way more than that. 68,000 armor regen. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering why not use the memento bag. The memento bag has been changed. You do not, when you die, you lose your stacks. So I don't know about you, but I am not farming a landmark every time I die. If you are that guy, you could put that on if you would like to, but at the moment it's not the best in slot. It goes away too quick, and you know, it used to be strong. You used to spawn at the safe house and then get all of your stacks back, but that is not the case anymore. So that's the build, guys. Like I said before, this is how I want to run it. Remember, this is my opinion. There are other ways you can utilize this and maybe make it even stronger, but for my playstyle, this works really well, and I wanted to showcase this with you guys. Best PvP SMG build for TU12. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below how you would change it, what you want to be using. And also, you know, it's good to point out now as well that if you did use the memento backpack, you would be losing out on a lot of crit damage from the Coyote mask, and you're giving your teammates damage as well. So there are different ways you can change this up. Even maybe putting Contractor's Glove instead of the 1% armor regen. It's dependent on the player, and if your teammate's got a healer, you know, but this is generally based on if you 1v1 someone, or if you're playing solo, this is going to be the best way for you to go about it. Obviously in a team, anything really goes, because as long as you've got a healer, you can survive in any way. So that's going to be it for the build video, guys. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Peace out.